So when you're approaching a proof, I came up with a list of helpful questions and what to do because of them to help you work your way through a proof. And remember, try something. Don't be afraid to try it. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. You can just erase it or cross it out and try something else. So the first thing that you should look for is the given information. Okay, so did they use any special words or any special types of shapes? Once you identify special words or shapes, look at their definitions or theorems or postulates about those things. That's what you're going to do. So look at the given information, say what kind of shape is it, what special words do they use, and then look at their definitions, theorems, and postulates, and just start a list of different things that you know about it. Okay? Once you've done that, start thinking about how could I put this together so that I can start my proof. The next thing you're going to look at is the diagram. Did they give you any information in the diagram? Can I look at the diagram to see how things are arranged? Remember, we can't use the diagrams for measurements, but they do show us how our shapes are placed in respect to each other. So you can see if things are next to each other, if they're adjacent, or you can see if they make a bigger angle. Maybe you can use angle addition postulate or segment addition postulate. Now, you also want to mark things in your diagrams based on your given information. So if they tell you two parts are equal, you want to mark them as congruent in the diagram because it's going to help you see what you need to see to get to the ending of your proof. Now, hopefully these first two steps help you to begin your proof and you start getting an idea of where your proof is going. Now, if you get stuck in the middle and you can't see how to connect this given information with your proof statement, then I suggest working backwards, going down to the proof statement and saying, what do I need to show before I can make this statement true? So if you need to prove that angles are complementary, then you have to show that their measures add to 90. And that's going to be the step right before you say, oh, so they're complementary. Okay, and then right before that, you're going to have to find out their angle measurements and see if they can add to 90. So start working backwards if you get stuck. Generally, following these steps will help you get most of the proof, okay? So start at the given information, write that down as step one. Look at that given information, look at special words or theorems or postulates about that information. Then look at the diagram, then look at the proof statement. Now, I do have some helpful tips for you. First tip is don't be afraid to try something. And I can't say that enough times. So many people just see a proof and they just stop right there. Try it. It couldn't hurt to try it. Okay, and if you try something that doesn't work, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just erase it. I always keep a big eraser near me when I do my proofs. If you run out of ideas, take out the lists of postulates, theorems, and definitions that I give. Look through them and see if you can find anything that might be helpful. Always remember that if you're using properties of equality, you're dealing with equations, and properties of congruence are used to show things about congruent figures. So watch out for those symbols. And if you're using a fact based on what a word means, you're using a definition. A lot of people say property of congruent angles. Well, there is no such thing. You can say definition of congruent angles. So just be careful. So if you're using a fact about what a word means, then you're using a definition. If you're using a fact about a type of shape, like how two things that are vertical angles are congruent. Well, that's not the definition of vertical angles. It's not telling you what vertical angles are, but it is telling you about that shape. If you're using a fact about the shape, it's probably a theorem or postulate. Okay, so I hope this helped you. I'd suggest playing it over and over again as you're doing your proofs homework.